It has been about 2 weeks since we have last checked in at Universal Epic Universe in Orlando, Florida. This is Justin from Adventures Away, and let's jump into today's update. But before we get there, I want to thank BioReconstruct for these amazing aerial views, and I do suggest you follow him on social media. Starting off just south of Epic Universe with the two off-site resorts of Stella Nova and Stella Luna resorts. Those colorful tiles that have reached the corner in our last update have now wrapped around and are now going around the front side of the hotel where the main entrance will be, as well as a new section has started just to the right of the lobby entrance. These tiles continue the theming on the front as well as seen on the pool side. On the sister resort, vertical progress continues on this section of hotel that just broke ground and started rising a couple of updates ago. It seems that they are about 2 or 3 stories from the top, and the framing for the back of the hotel where the pool will be is seen. Inside of Epic Universe at the Grand Helios Hotel, the most noticeable change is the facade of the building is starting to grow now on the 4th or 5th floor, as well as the canopy that is suggested to be because of these footers. The footers have now gotten steel support columns. In the front of the hotel where the main entrance will be opposite the park, that extension of the lobby is continuing to move forward with the right side making good progress. Where we saw work being done on the pool last time, we can now see a concrete wall that will more than likely separate the resort's relaxing area from the main part of the road. Right next door in the classic monsters land of Epic Universe, theming work around the land's portal continues to reveal more surprises, as theming elements are becoming more and more prominent around the scaffolding that has been surrounding the portal for quite some time. Right behind the portal, the broken bridge framing is still present and no progress has been made there. Throughout the village, more theming elements are popping up behind the scaffolding, but the most noticeable difference between last update and now is the orange and white barriers around Curse of the Werewolf, as well as the chain link fence attached to them. This could indicate that there is ride testing that will begin here very shortly at the Curse of the Werewolf spinning roller coaster. One other noticeable thing with the roller coaster is that the roof around the load station is starting to match the roof in the barn in the middle of the track. Next door to the roller coaster, the Burning Blades Tavern has seen more rockwork theming elements pop up around the concrete walls that branch out from the base of the windmill. If you look closely through the scaffolding of the windmill, you can see the facade starting to take shape. Right next door to the Burning Blades Tavern, DeLacy Snack Stand has seen its roof be painted blue. At the manor front for the feature ride in the classic Monsters Land, the bridge that looks like will go over a pond in front of the manor has appeared, as well as some of the roof line has been shown of the manor itself. Out back, it does seem that there are some Kuka ride arms being unloaded and delivered to the ride itself. This Kuka arm technology is similar to the one found at Islands of Adventure. Over at Super Nintendo World, inside of the Mushroom Kingdom, more and more of the theming elements are now being exposed, especially around Yoshi's Adventure. Around front, where the escalator is, where guests will enter Super Nintendo World, the roofing has been completed, it seems, for the initial framing, as well as the outside of the wall seems to be painted like it has been before. There have been several more themed green walls around Yoshi's Adventure that have appeared since our last update. The roof framing for Yoshi's Adventure is still currently being worked on, as well as the facade work for Mount Beanpole. The entrance to the Mario Kart ride doesn't seem to have as much progress being done, but that white foam that we saw being delivered all over the land has been distributed and is popping up all over around the edges of the roof work. Behind the Mushroom Kingdom in Donkey Kong Country, a lot of the theming elements that have been hidden by scaffolding have been exposed, as well as a new set of stairs has been constructed right at one of the pieces of the roller coaster, more than likely for an emergency exit. more of the Golden Temple has been exposed as the scaffolding has been removed. We have also gotten our first good look at the boom arm technology that is being used in this roller coaster, as they are using the ride envelope to ensure no theming elements will be able to be within reach of guests within the coaster. Across the park, the Isle of Berk and the How to Train Your Dragon Land of Epic Universe, there have been some exciting new changes that we have seen since our last update. The large lagoon that guests are met with as they enter the land continues to get more theming work, as pilings seem to show, as this will be a dock that guests will walk on going through the land. Over at the boat ride, theming elements have been added to the entrance where guests enter and will descend to the loading bay of the boat ride. This looks like it'll be a continuous motion ride. Behind the boat ride in the back of the land at the theater building, it looks as though an entrance arch has been formed around the entry door to the theater. This can be seen at the number 1 in this picture. The most exciting change that we have seen in this update in the How to Train Your Dragon Land is the ride vehicles for the dual spinning rides have been installed on the ride arms. These ride vehicles, though, seem to be baby dragons. These baby dragons will be able to be controlled how they spin while the ride is in motion via the guest who want to do whatever they would like. Left, right, up, down, and so forth. Theming around the land's roller coaster continues, especially around the coaster's first and second launches. This gives the idea that there will be some sort of show element before guests are launched down the track of this roller coaster. There is also some odd theming gaps in the rockwork around the lagoon. This may be a waterfall that may appear. Themed doors can also be seen installed on Mead Hall, which is the land's full-service dining location. The rockwork mesh going around Mead Hall has also seen a little bit more progress. Back towards the front of the land, at the entry portal, a concrete form has appeared on the right side of the portal. This more than likely will be some sort of theming element that will incorporate the portal with the mountain that it'll make. Over in Epic Universe's Wizarding World Land, the entry portal has seen a lot of theming added since our last update, where it just started. As well, next to the land have been some trees that have been recently transplanted. Behind the entry portal is the Parisian-style arch, which through the scaffolding you can start to see detail starting to appear. In the streets of Paris, the rooftop structures have been exposed a little bit more for us to be able to see a little bit more detail, as well as more glass has been added to the windows of these buildings as the detail work of the facades progresses every week. Over at the park entrance, the utility work around the arches continues, where the dirt has been filled in and the utilities has come up through the ground seen at number 5. Number 2 and 3 represent themed elements on the rooftops that have been started to be closed in. The tops of these theming elements can be seen staged on the ground at number 1. The concrete arches on either side of the park entryway are still being worked on, as the concrete forms are still visible on the left side of the entrance. The security gate just prior to the courtyard has started to see its roof work. More than likely in our next update, the other side will start to see roofing as well, if not have the roofing complete. The steel structure frames have started to tie in all of the buildings around the front entryway of the park, giving all of the buildings that continuous flow look seen in the renderings. Seen at number 6 in this aerial, concrete forms are beginning to pop up at the first water feature that guests will meet as they enter the park right next to the Atlantic restaurant. Towards the back of the Celestial Park in front of the barbecue restaurant, one of the kiosks has received a covering over its roof. And around the Villaggio-style fountain, concrete forms have popped up all around the entire fountain. This is for seating and other theming elements. The rumored splash pad is receiving a lot of plumbing and dirt work, as you can see with the large diameter white PVC pipes for the plumbing for the various water features that will be featured here. Next to the splash pad, we have the Celestial Carousel. The Celestial Carousel has not seen a whole lot of work since our last update. This leads to believe that the ride elements may start to appear and install in the coming updates, since the clearing of construction and scaffolding equipment inside of the dome. Or will we start seeing some of that stained glass start to appear? With that question, that wraps up today's construction update of Universal Epic Universe in Orlando, Florida. I do hope you enjoyed this update. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more construction updates of Epic Universe. This has been Justin from Adventures Away. Until next time, have a great one.